Hello, lovely first graders. I hope you are doing well. Today's video is just to go back over money, currency, and our money symbols. So if you are here, maybe you're having a little bit of trouble still, or you just want to go back over it, whichever it is, it's totally okay. I just hope that this can help you. So we're going to start just going over our symbols first, because I know we've practiced a lot how much each coin is worth, but we will be looking at that too. We're going to go back over here. We're going to look at our money symbols. So remember, if we have dollars, if we're adding money and we have dollars, we're going to start off with the dollar symbol, which is basically an S with a line through it. And right here, to clarify that we had $4.78, we could see our dollar symbol with $4. We put the dot, which is called a decimal, you see it down here, a decimal, and 78 cents, okay? Then, if we don't have any dollars after adding everything together or looking at the amount of money we have, we don't have any dollars whatsoever, we're going to use our cent sign. And we're going to put 0 because we don't have any dollars. We put the decimal and we put the amount of cents we have. In this case, our example has 54 cents. And we put the cent symbol. I usually put the C and a line straight down just like the dollar sign, but you can also do it like this sideways. So that would be our cent symbol. Then we have our decimal, which is the little dot I told you guys about when we were doing together our math problems. The decimal. That indicates the separation between the dollars and our cents. So those three symbols are super important for us to know what money we're talking about, okay? So if we don't have that decimal and we put a dollar sign, we'd have $312. So it's very important for you guys to put the decimal if there are some cents, okay? So we're going to go back over here. We're going to go back over the worth of each coin. We have our penny. I'm going to create a box over here so I can write down how much a penny is worth. So I know you guys should know this already. We've gone over it quite a few times, but it's always good to review. So I'm going to put this in 72, and a penny is worth 0.01 cents. So let me put the cent symbol. Let me see where it is on my keyboard. So my keyboard doesn't have the cent symbol, but I already told you guys what it looked like. I don't know, which is over here. You would put the cent symbol. So I'm going to create it since I don't have it available on my keyboard. I'm going to go back over here, get my brush, and create it. So as I told you guys, even though you could do it sideways or straight down, it's still going to be the cent symbol. Okay, I'm going to do it straight down. So remember, a penny is worth 1 cent, okay? Then we have our dime. No, well, we can do dime next. We did see the dime before we saw the nickel, so a dime, it's known as our tiniest coin, and our dime is worth 10 cents. So I'm going to go back over here. Let's create our box. Make sure you guys can see it. We put 0.10, 10 cents. And this time I'm going to make it sideways so you guys can see it. Our cent. So we have 10 cents, okay? And this is the dime. Then, of course, we have the one that we saw next when we were in class. We have our nickel, and it's a little bit bigger than the dime, but it's worth less because the nickel is worth only 5 cents. So let me go ahead, put this over here so we can see it. So a nickel is worth 5 cents. Put 0, 0, 5. And the cent symbol. Okay, so the nickel, 5 cents. And of course, we have the biggest coin we are working with. There is a bigger coin than this one, but this is the biggest one we are working with, which is our quarter. And our quarter is worth 25 cents. Let me see if I can continue this. We put 0.25. We have 25 cents. Okay, so those are our coin amounts. We have our penny for 1 cent, our penny for 1 cent, our dime, which was 10 cents, our nickel for 5, and our quarters for 25. And I'm going to add this in here just so you guys can have a reminder, and it makes it easier for us, honestly, that if we know how much it is to have more than 1 quarter, it's easier for us when we're counting money. For example, 1 quarter is 25 cents. I'm going to add this over here just so you guys can have it, okay? 1 quarter is 25 cents. 2 quarters is 50 cents. 3 quarters is 75 cents. 75 cents. And 4 quarters equals $1. So I'm going to put the symbol 0, 0. Let me open this a little bit so it'll come out. Okay, so remember, 1 quarter is 25 cents, 2 quarters 50 cents, 3 quarters 75 cents, and 4 quarters $1. So this is just something that is very helpful when you guys are counting money. And it's good if you guys can just memorize this part. So when you guys are looking at your money and you see more than 1 quarter, it'll just be easier for you guys to count your money. So I hope that helps. So we're going to continue on with looking at our dollar bills before we start putting our money together. So we already looked at the value of our coins. This is the bigger coin I told you guys about, the $1/2, which costs 50 cents, but we're not using that one, so we're going to ignore it for now. Now, we have our dollar bill, the $1 bill, our $5 bill, our $10 bill, our $20 bill, our $50 bill, and of course, our $100 bill. But for purposes of our class, we're going to be only working with our $1 bill. With bills, it's a lot easier because the dollar bills have the number of what they are worth in the corner. We know that if it has a 1 in the corner, it's $1. If it has a 5 in the corner, it's $5. If it's 10 in the corner, any of the corners, then it's $10, and so on and so forth. So if you ever doubt, like, what dollar bill do I have, you just look at any of the 4 corners and you're going to know how much it's worth. But for now, we're going to be working with the $1 bill. So I'm going to head on over here. And to start us off easy, we're going to first just add the coins together. I think this one might be a little too easy for you guys because we already did that one. And we are going to be doing some that we've seen already, but I'm going to use this one that's a little bit harder. So over here, we have number 1, 2 quarters, and 3 dimes. Now, just to help us out, as a little reminder, I'm going to write the amount of each one on top. Like I told you guys, quarter is 25 cents. 25 cents. Dimes are 10 cents. So we have 3 of those. So there's 2 ways we could do this. If you don't remember, 22 quarters was 50 cents. What we wrote over here. Let me see where I put it. 2 quarters were worth 50 cents. But in the case that you don't remember this when you're adding, it's okay, because if you have a pencil and a paper and you don't know the amounts yet, you could totally do this all on your own. What important thing is that we're going to have to remember what we learned in previous math classes with regrouping, because it's going to be very important for us to add money. So all we do is we start writing down the amounts. If we have 25, let me write it closer over here so it's easier for 25 plus 25, that's our first 2 quarters. 25 plus 25. If we put them one on top of each other, it's totally easier for us, because we're going to add 5 plus 5 instead of looking at the full 25. 5 plus 5 is 10. And with regrouping, if it's the number 10 or more, you're going to put this number, the number that is on this side, you're going to put it down, right? And the other number goes up. So I already put the 0 from the 10 and I brought up our 1. Okay, this is called regrouping. Now we're going to add the 2 with the 2. 2 plus 2 is 4, but we can't forget the 1 that was up here. So 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 1 more, we have 5. 2 plus 2, 4, plus 1 more, 5. And we bring that down here. Now we know that the 2 quarters gave us 50. We have 50 cents so far, but we still have 3 dimes to work with. Now, this part should be a little bit easier because we already know how to count by tens. So if we have 50 and we put 10 more, we just go back over our tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Which one goes next? 60, 70, 80. And it'll be a lot easier if we think back to keep counting by tens. We have 80 cents. Okay, so I usually accept if you guys just put the number and the cent sign, but if we want to be completely correct, we should put 0, decimal, and the number that we have. Plus, of course, our cent sign. Our cent sign is extremely important because that's how we know that we're not dealing with dollars. Okay, guys? So I'm going to do one more from this area so we can have a little extra example before we go on with the one with money. I'm going to put a line here so we're not confused. This one belongs to this problem. Okay, and now we have a bigger variation of coins. So we have 1 quarter, which is worth 25 cents. We have 10 cents. We have 5 cents, 5 cents, which is nickels. And we have, of course, the penny, which is only worth 1. So in this case, usually once you get used to it, there's many ways you could start adding. You could do 5 plus 5 equals 10, 10 plus 10 is 20, and you just keep getting the hang of it. Once you start practicing, you're going to notice you're going to find different ways to add the money. But since you guys are still starting out, we're going to go coin by coin. So the first one we're going to start out with is, of course, 25, which is a quarter, plus the dime, which is 10 cents. And I'm just going to write it over here. Remember that this one belongs to this problem. 25 plus 10. Now, we did 10 more, 10 less in class, but in case you don't remember that 10 more is, if it's 25, you add 10 more is 35. Once again, you can use this method to be able to add the numbers. So of course, 5 plus 0 equals 5. It's not more than 10, so there's nothing to bring up this time. And then 2 plus 1 is 3. And that gives you 35. So we already used these 2 coins. You can cross them out if that's easier for you to follow. And then we have 2 nickels. So we start with the first one. You're going to add 5 more. And this time, you have to be careful because it is going to involve some regrouping. I'm just going to erase this part up here, just so that we don't get confused. We already know we have 35. Plus our first nickel. So 5 plus 5 is of course 10, and once more, if it's 10 or more, the first number goes here and the other one goes up. So now we have 3 plus 1, which is 40. Now, again, this is another one of those things that you can take in 2 ways. You can either do the same method we just did and add this nickel by putting the 5 down here, which I'm going to do just to demonstrate to you. But your other option that you're always going to have is to use one of the methods we already studied. The same way we have counted by 10s, we've counted by 5s. In this case, if you count by 5s, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, you know that 5 more is going to be 45. But if you don't remember this, you don't have to worry because you can use the same method we've been using this whole time. I'm going to erase this again so that we don't get confused now that we're working with a new number. We cross out that 5 because we already used it. I'm going to rewrite this 40 up here so it's a little bit easier for us to see, at least for this class. Let's erase this 40 so we don't get confused. Okay, and we're going to add that other nickel. We write it down. We have 0 plus 5 is 5. And of course, if there's nothing there and no one up here, then we just bring him down and we have 45. And now it's the easiest one because we only have 1 penny left. Since it's only worth 1 cent, that means that we're just adding 1. You just have to count 1 over. What comes right after 45? 46. But if you don't remember, it's the same dynamic. If you put 5 plus 1 gives you 6 and you bring it back down and you get the same result. So really it depends whether you remember or not, but there are different methods to add things together, okay guys? So you just choose the one that is easiest for you, okay? Oh, look at me writing it without correct form. So we put 0, 46, and the cent signs. If you didn't do it this way and you already gave it to me and you're watching the video now, don't worry. I will accept it the way that you already did it because I don't feel I was very clear on putting the 0 decimal first when we were talking about cents. So don't worry about it, okay guys? But just so you know in the future, this is the way you would write it. So we're going to go back over here and we're going to get this a little bit harder. I already practiced this with you guys in last week, but since we're practicing, I'm going to go back over these problems that we did together. Here we have now dollars with coins. If you guys might have a little bit of difficulty with using the dollar bills, Let me see if I had opened it. I didn't quite, but like I said, we're only using $1 bills. So it's a lot easier when it's just $1 bills. Because you're just gonna be adding ones, just like you normally would. 1, 2, 3. You can see it here. It's a $1 coin. 1, 2, 3. And you have a dollar sign because indicating that all of them will probably be giving you something with a dollar. So I'm just going to write the first number, which is how many dollars we have. We just write it down so we don't have to worry about it. And of course, so we don't forget, we write the decimal, which is the little dot that I would put. Now, the easy part's done. We have to, of course, count how many coins we have, how many cents we have available. So over here, we can see we have a quarter, a dime, a nickel, and a penny. So this one has all of the amounts. Let me see where this is. I'm going to put it closer for you guys to see it. Okay, so I'm going to write it here. We have 25, 10, 5, and 1. So we can do this. Like I said previously, if you remember how to count, adding 10 less, subtracting 10 less, or adding 10 more, like we practiced in the classroom with our big chart, which we went, if it was fives, it'd be 5, 10 more would be 15, 10 more would be 25, 10 more would be 35, 10 more would be 45. It would be easier for you. But if you don't remember this method, once again, we can just add it together and there's no problem with that. So the first numbers we're going to add together is 25 plus 10. And same dynamic, we're going to add 5 plus 0, it gives us 5. Then we add 2 plus 1. There's nobody up here because there was nothing larger than a 10. 2 plus 1 equals 3, and we are back to 35 cents. So I'm just going to hit back on all of this so we already have the number there. And we know that we have 35 cents up until now, adding the 2 first coins. So I'm just going to toss that out for us. And now we're going to add a nickel, which is only 5 more cents. So once again, if we count by fives, it's a lot easier because we're just going to go, of course, if you already know the order, you are going to know that the next one to follow 35 plus 5 more is 40. But if you don't remember this, it's okay. You can go back and go by all the fives, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, or if you still don't remember how to count by fives too well, you just add it together just like this. 5 plus 5 is 10. So once more, we put the 0, but since it's 10 or more, we put down the 0, but we pull up that 1. And now we have 1 plus 3 equals 4, and it gives us 40. Now, I'm not going to erase it this time because all we have left to add is 1. And as I said previously, a penny is only worth 1, so it's a lot easier. We just count the number that goes right after. If it's 40, the number right after is 41. But if you are still a little confused, it's okay. You write it down. Oh, that line was terrible. You write it down. You put 0 plus 1 is 1. There's nobody here. So you just bring him down and you have 41. So we know we have 41 cents. But this time we don't have to add anything else, no cent sign, because we had dollars. So it's $3.41. Okay, so I'm just going to do one more problem and that'll be it for today. Let's go back over here. Now we count the dollars first. We have 1, 2. So we have $2 to make our lives easier and just to not get confused. We go ahead and write the 2 for $2. We write our decimal, and then we, of course, add our coins. Okay, I'm sorry about that, guys. Life of being with pets, right? So we have 25 plus 10 plus 10 plus 5 plus 5 plus 1. So it's a lot more to do now, right? So I'm going to go ahead and create a whole other box for us right here so we don't get confused. I'm going to take all of this out. Let's see, I'm going to create this shape. And let's fill it just so we can have that space and not have the numbers in the way confusing us. So once again, by this point we should start seeing the pattern probably. 25 plus 10 gave us 35 2 times. If we count 10 more, it'd be 25, 35, 45. If we're counting, if we're adding tens, and it's a lot easier. But if you're still confused, it's totally okay. We just go back over. We have 25 plus 10 equals 5 plus 0. It's 5, and then 2 plus 1 is 3. And we are back to 35, and we already did these two. So we keep 35. I did that pretty big, so we're going to go ahead and go back. We cross them out because we already know we have 35 from those two. We write it here, 35. We added 10 more because of another dime. We don't have, we have 5 plus 0 is 5. We don't have 10 or more, so it's just a 5. 3 plus 1 equals 4. And now we have 45. So that's the same thing, we're adding tens. So we have 45. Now, we cross this one out, and 45, again, if you remember how to count by fives, it's a lot easier, but if you don't, it's okay. So if I counted by tens, it'd be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 35, 40, 45, and then we'd have 50. But if you don't remember that, it's okay. It's all about practice. If you start counting all the time in fives, it gets a lot easier. At one point, even Macy didn't remember, but over time, she practiced a lot and she learned it. So don't worry if you don't remember now. Eventually you will be able to remember that without a problem. So we added 5 more. 5 plus 5 is 10. If it's 10 or more, up goes the 1. If it was 11, you'd put a 1 and a 1. If it was 12, it'd be a 2 and the 1, okay? But right now, since we're working with 10, you put the 0 down here and you go up with the 1. And now 4 is not alone. 4 has to add 1. 4 plus 1 is 5. And you have 50. And then that's another coin down. Of course, if you count by fives, you know 50, 55. But if you don't remember, you just put the 5 underneath that 0. Make sure that we don't get confused with this one. If you guys have more paper, you guys can just rewrite it. But in this case, since I only have that space, that's why I just erase it. So we have 0 plus 5 equals 5. No one to add to the other 5, so we bring it down, and now we have 55. And the easiest coin to add is here, which is the penny, 1 cent. You count 1 after. 55 plus 1 more is 56. 55, 56. But of course, if you don't remember that, you can do the same method we've been doing this whole time. 55 plus 1. 5 plus 1 is 6. And no one to add to the other. So 56. Okay, we get to the same conclusion every time, no matter which method you use. Okay, it's all about looking for which method works the best for you, whether it's adding by tens, by fives, or just doing the whole process that we did on this side. Whatever works best for you. The most important thing is that you keep on practicing, because as I've said to you guys previously, practice makes perfect. And before you know, it becomes easy peasy. Okay? So thank you guys so much for being here today. I hope this really helps if you still haven't figured out completely how to add currency. And I know that even though it may seem hard now, eventually you guys are going to find it to be super easy. Trust me, once you get older, you start growing up, this will be a breeze. Okay? So thank you very much for being here. If you still have any questions, remember that on Fridays we're doing doubt and clarification, and that's a perfect opportunity for us to go back over if you still have any doubts. Thank you.